Alright, this is John Black, Super Chemist. This is definitely my last video on, oh, did that wrong. Anyways, this will be definitely my last video in this series called Slavery. So if you want to see the whole series, go to my playlist labeled that. Oh, I want to go into, everyone comes from Africa, right? White people, brown people, all of us, Indians, whatever. And the proof of that, and this is not my theory or whatever, this is not common knowledge. Like if you are a geneticist or in that type of field, this has been proven like 20 years ago or something like that. I don't know how long it's been. But it's been double checked and triple checked, and everyone agrees. And you know what I mean. It's old news. It's not some conspiracy thing. Because of mitochondrial DNA, they know that we all descended from African, from one woman, and the reason why is because mitochondrial DNA is different than all the other types of DNA that you pass on to your child or to the fetus is a copy of your DNA, okay? But when it comes to mitochondrial DNA, okay, which is in the X chromosome, it is not copied. It is literally passed on. They just pass it on with that gene. They don't copy it. They give you the actual gene. So the chances of mutation is cut down like so severely that you can track that mutation. And basically what the thing is saying is that every woman on the planet has the same mitochondrial DNA. You know what I mean? Because it never mutates, okay? And it's not that it never mutates. It mutates about every 30,000 years. You'll have one mutation, okay? If you think about it, mankind is only like 100, 200,000 years old. Or so, I'm just guessing. Even at 200,000 years, you only have like 6 mutations within that time if it takes 30,000 years for one mutation. You know what I mean? So you can actually track that mutation. You know what I mean? And it all tracks back to Africa. Africa had black people with big noses, big lips, whatever the stereotypical black features are. The hair, the kinky hair. Then because just like any species, the older it is, the more it spouts out and diversifies. Then you started having black people over by Ethiopia that had skinnier noses, less coarse hair, less thin lips, and etc., etc. Then those people from Ethiopia, they migrated to, across the thingy out of Africa and India. Now you got Indians, and then they, just spread out more and more and more and more. And as you spread out, the more mutations you get or whatever. But anyways, so it's proven. Everyone agrees. It's not like a whatever. We all. So if you go back that far, even like the King of England, if you go back far enough, you'll probably find descendants of the king that were slaves. And you'll say, no, that can't be. Going back with England's time period, talking about royalty, you're only going back a couple thousand years. You know what I mean? If you go back like 100,000 years, where 200,000 years ago, when his descendants were in Africa, I guarantee you, if you go back that far, someone in his lineage has been a slave. Everyone is descended from slaves. Every single human being since the beginning, since slavery started, or shortly after that, because they had so many slaves after that. But anyways, let's see what else. Everyone descended from slaves, and slave owners. So everyone has descended not only from slaves, and also from slave owners. And I want to bring this funny tidbit up because, they always trying to prove Trump is racist, and one of the ways they tried to do that was by looking at his past and his ancestors to see if he is descended from people who had slaves back in Civil War times. You know what I mean? And they found out that, because they did all the presidents, every single president, even Obama, even Vice President Harris, Kamala Harris, all descended from people who owned slaves. There's only one president who did not descend from have descendants that were slave owners, and that was Trump. He's the only one. He's the first president, because he came over after, just like most people. Most people came over, not just black people. Most people came over after slavery was gone. You know what I mean? People don't understand that. But anyways, and the South was tricked into the Civil War, reparations, blah, blah, blah. And I guess that's about it. Let's see. I might have to just babble for a little bit because, I got 8 minutes left. I hate to have my videos be too short. So what else can I bring up about slavery? Just that it's so long ago, and it's so, like, I understand, because I'm going to bring up racism after this in another series that you come up in my playlist, and it'll be labeled racism. Racism is a totally different thing. Okay. Slavery, though, it really has nothing to do with skin color at all. It never did, and it never has, and it never will. But then the racism that stems from what happened after slavery. Because see, the thing is with racism, right? After you free the slaves, you have to, the rich people, that's 15% of the country that actually wanted slavery and fought for slavery and manipulated everyone into a war to keep slavery. That 15%, that elite highest people, I forget what I was going to say. Totally lost my train of thought. See, this is why you should never smoke pot. I've got no short-term memory at all. None. But something about the elites. They're to blame for everything usually. You know what I mean? They is after you get rid of the slaves, or get rid of abolish slavery, racism comes about, right? And the reason why is because the elites have to, justify why they have slaves, and the justification was that all these slaves were criminals and rapists and murderers and pedophiles and the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? And some of them were, and at first, most of them were, people that were war, whatever. Get it. One African country gets in a war with another African country, and they keep the war soldiers, that lose. They keep them as slaves. You know what I mean? And they're criminals. And so that was played up a lot. I mean, we can all see how the media just can manipulate. I mean, the elites, they just can manipulate people just like it's unreal. We can see it today with the media. But anyways, I wish I could just keep my train of thought. But anyways, let's see how much time we got. Maybe I'll just take this short. As soon as I hit the stop button on the camera, though, I'll think of a billion things I could have said. Oh my God. Oh. So let me just sit here for a second. If I can't think of anything else, I'll move on. Oh, but when they freed the Irish slaves, people were racist against Irish people in the UK. You know, that area up there with the UK and Ireland. Um, and they still are today. You know what I mean? Uh, but that's what happened when we freed the black slaves, right, in America. The racism was already there, first of all, but it was drummed up even more afterwards, you know, with the KKK and all that other stuff. Um, okay, well, I just keep losing my train of thought, so I'm going to end this video. I'm going to end this video short, man. Uh, but I didn't want to say uh, I I promised Paul I can't even remember his whole name, but I promised him I'd put up my video and you know, I'd make my video the next day, and I did make my my last video on the next day, but I didn't post it. It's been a long time since I've posted anything. But anyways, um, I just want to say sorry I didn't you know, I didn't put them up. But the reason why is because I'm going to try to do one video every day. Every day, post one video, okay? And I don't promise to do that. I promise I'll try my hardest to do that. And I was just procrastinating, man, because I knew as soon as I put up the last video, I got to do it every day. I got to put up a video. I kept procrastinating it more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And now I'm to right here or whatever. But anyways, you all have a great day. Always remember, science is great, and so is patriotic crap. Being patriotic.